Hi everybody, it's Honest John again, and this is the Book of Nothing, chapter 25. And it came to pass that the prophet John the Honest One and his disciples were gathered together, smoking a fat one. One of the disciples said, "We've had a lot of predictions about the end of the world, none of which have come true. Do you have any prophecies about this?" "Yes," said the prophet. "There will be many signs. There will be lights in the sky. There will be hot, dark days and cold, bright ones. There will be war and pestilence and great division among the people." But said one of the disciples, "those things are always happening." "Notice that, did you?" said the prophet with a smile. "You're catching on." "So how about telling us when the world will actually end?" said a disciple. "Of course," said the prophet. "The world will end on June 27th, 1,000,000 years from now." "But," said one of the disciples, "hey, there's no way we can tell if you're right or not. We're all going to be long dead. You could be totally bullshitting." "That's right." And all of the disciples looked around in consternation. "Here's the deal," said the prophet. "A prophet can never be wrong. All these people who predicted the end of the world in a few months were proven wrong and wound up looking like idiots." All the disciples agreed that was true. There's nothing lamer than having to revise your prophecy. If you want to be a great prophet, you must either be so vague that no matter what happens, you'll always be right, or predict the extremely distant future. "So anybody can be a prophet," said one of the disciples. "No," said the prophet. "You must be smart enough to say nothing and still sound very wise. You must be mentally agile enough to avoid being pinned down. And you must be humble enough to know that you don't really know shit." Guys with big egos, they get carried away with themselves, and they make predictions that don't come true, and they look like fools. One of the disciples became very angry. "Then you're a fraud," he said. "No," said the prophet. "If I were a fraud, I wouldn't have just told you the truth, would I?" There was much murmuring and consternation. Finally, one of the disciples spoke up. "This is confusing," he said. "Bingo," said the prophet. "If you can confuse enough people, then you will be a great prophet." Thanks for listening.